Hello everyone, my name is Jenny Birak and I'm an astrologer and I channel the energy of Archangel Metatron, and we're going to talk about the Fall Equinox. I thought I would pull some cards, which I did already. You'll just have to trust me. I am not good at shuffling at all. I learned tarot after I learned astrology. They kind of go together, so I learned how to do that, and I'm reading from the Good Tarot Colette Baron Reads deck. And we're going to read. I wanted to say thank you to all of my new subscribers and welcome, and thank you to everyone who comments and likes. I love reading your comments and hearing, just little tidbits about what's going on with you, and then any questions that anybody has. Somebody posed a question on my last video: how do I know that the angels weren't lying to me when they had told me something that didn't come up? Because I know that the angels respect free will, and that my higher self made a different choice that was, that wasn't known to me and wasn't meant to be known, and when at the time that I was told something else, because at the time that was the plan. But things change and we change timelines, and I'm sure that a lot of you have experienced the same thing when you were so sure that something was going to happen a certain way and then it didn't, which really is a lot about the solstice energy. Just that when he showed me like the energies for right now, he showed me all of us getting rocked individually. He didn't show me, it wasn't like the one where he showed me the planet Earth wobble. He showed me like individually, like what's going to happen in all of our lives, that there's going to be circumstances and situations that he's saying will come to an abrupt close, and that he's saying some will be shocking, quite shocking is what he just said. Interesting. Okay. So the Sabian symbol for this degree, which the solstice happens at 9:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can just adjust for your time zone. Again, 5 and 4, we have another 9. So the new moon was at 9/9, and it's about releasing and completion. So we have another heads up to that. This is Dane Rudger's interpretation of the Sabian symbols. He asked me to use Dane Rudger's for this. Totally intent upon completing an immediate task. A man is deaf to any allurement. It's total concentration required for reaching any spiritual goal. It's about focusing on what matters the most and getting the job done, is what he said. So I know for everyone listening that will speak to something that whatever comes to your mind in that statement that he made, that's what we're doing. Mars is coming off the south node now. He's just past the south node, so he's going, forward. Like he'll start gaining momentum now, and things will start coming to fruition, and start manifestations will come to light, and things will begin to manifest, he's saying. Projects that we've been working on will come to fruition. We're working toward that full moon in Aries. Just before these energies, Mars will be ruling that full moon. Mars is in Aquarius now, so he's being governed by Uranus, who is answering to Venus, and Venus is in Scorpio, where she's a bit uncomfortable. So, and Mars out of bounds could do, and especially being ruled by Uranus, anything could happen, basically. I think my neighbors are about to come home, so if you hear any noise in the background, that's what that is. And the last paragraph of Dane Rudger's interpretation is, this is the culminating step, the decision that results from a myriad of small choices. Still, a shadow of hesitation can remain. Attention may be distracted from the now by a voice from the past glamorizing some old memory. The outer doors of perception and thought must be closed so the soul can complete its conquest of illusion. And that's what we're doing, right? This is the illusion. This isn't what's actually happening. This is, we're creating the life that we want here. and playing out these different roles and different scenarios and learning our soul lessons with those that we've chosen to play out those things within this lifetime. But this is the illusion that, you know, that our family hated us, or that, you know, this partner really, you know, never cared about us, all that kind of stuff. Just the illusion of what's going on, just so we can learn the lessons we're meant to learn. So I wanted to look at the chart, show you the chart. If you look at the top of the sky, the MC, you'll see the asteroid Heimdall. It just says Heimed there. And that asteroid means the guard of the bridge between heaven and earth. That's the representation of Metatron looking over the sky. So that's why I guess I pulled it for New York, because it would have been somewhere else. But he wanted to make sure everyone knows that everything that's going to be was meant to be. And whatever that is going to be disrupted or, you know, feel like it's being taken away, it's always for our highest and best. And we have free will here. So, you know, these are things that are best for that our soul chose for us. And things that are removed are just impediments. They're impeding the way and, you know, need to be removed. They're distractions, is what he's saying. It's funny because that's what he says whenever there is like a partner, not like it happens so often, but when there is a partner that I'm going to come together with, and I'm told like, yeah, you're going to come together, and then we don't, he always says that it was a distraction. So it's hot out here for the fall equinox. Still in Chicago, it's very hot. Michael is with Venus. Archangel Michael, the asteroid that represents Archangel Michael, is on top of Venus, who is in an opposition to Uranus. And Uranus is with Archangel Raphael and Mary Magdalene. And Eris, who is the energy of the divine feminine, who she's actually her planet, or I don't know, it's actually called a TNO, but actually I'm not, yeah, I think she's classified, anyway, it doesn't matter, but she's bigger than Pluto, so she's quite significant. I heard Kai Pacha say, and I kind of agree with him, that maybe she should be the ruler of Scorpio. I think maybe Eris and Pluto could be the co-rulers of Scorpio. But anyway, that's a different video. But they're all with Uranus. So what this tells me with that opposition, Michael, when I first got into the whole twin flame thing, a lot of people say Michael is looking over, you know, the twin flames. I feel like they all do. I feel like, you know, because the Metatron energy is like the umbrella. But Michael blue, you know, the blue rays at least, and, you know, he is right in there. Whenever I needed to talk about things like that, I would talk to him about it. Metatron and Michael. But he is with Venus, and she is opposing Uranus. And then they're in a T-square with Mars, okay? We have another T-square. If you look at all those red lines, the other T-square is with Saturn, Mercury, the Sun, and Chiron. I mean, I know I keep saying intense, but wow. I mean, wow. Intense. You can just see the energy. If you read energy, just look at those lines. It's a bit messy. Nessus, retrograde with the moon, who represents the feminine. Nessus is about abuse. So it's, once again, you know, Gabriel is with Athena down there at the bottom in Virgo. If you can see that. So, and that green line is what's called a quincunx. So that's where, you know, quincunx anyway is going to be usually something abrupt or unusual, but definitely an important aspect to make note of. And then we've got Mars semi-sextile with Saturn there. Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius, so Mars he has something to say about what Mars is doing now too. So what he was saying with, you know, each of us being rocked, and he showed me us, you know, I said, like, show me the energies. He didn't show me us like this. He showed me us more like this, like big rock, big things coming, okay? It wasn't like when he showed me the earth wobble. So I want to make sure that we're clear about that. But he showed me more on an individual level that will be rocked, you know, rocking our world kind of scenario. And that whatever is meant to be released at this time, it could be, he's saying, quite significant and out of the blue. And there could be like shocking revelations is what he's saying. So he's saying individually and collectively, quite shocking revelations. So yeah, I'm reading Colette Baron-Reid, The Good Tarot. I did this video earlier before pulling cards, and then I was like, okay, we're just gonna pull cards off camera, start the video again. So the first card here is the Hierophant. Isn't it gorgeous? So Colette Baron-Reid's interpretation of this card is when this card appears, it reminds me to be committed to a spiritual practice to ensure a conscious contact to my higher power. When I have a daily practice of prayer and meditation steeped in gratitude and committed to being a co-creator, life works out in wondrous ways. Rituals are also in my highest good at this time. Exchanging vows is also highlighted. So we are starting the season of Libra. I mean, I'm just going to say again that, you know, Sedna retrograde with Juno and then everything that's happening with Venus doesn't exactly speak to people coming into union anytime soon, but it can be like, he's saying it's a marker of a beginning. So keep that in mind. The next card is the World. I love these cards. They're so pretty. I'm a blue golden flame, so maybe that's why I like them a lot, but I do. World perspective. I'm being called to shift my perspective on my life now. When I remember I am first and foremost an immortal soul experiencing life as a human being, I have no fear. I can see clearly that I am a powerful co-creator in a divine partnership with Spirit. Aligning myself with Spirit, remaining unattached to outcomes, I am a conduit for miracles. So again, that letting go and realizing this is an illusion and not getting caught up in the emotional melodrama of it all is what he's saying. And to remember to be detached, okay? Because it's when we're attached to the outcome that we have expectations, you know, that bring attachment, that's when, you know, the rocking doesn't seem like a gentle rock. It seems like, you know, something horrific happening to us. And then the last card, a 9, the Hermit. And Colette Baron-Reid's interpretation is Hermit timeout. Sometimes it's necessary to take time for regrouping and introspection. This is a temporary experience, but one necessary for my growth. When I step back, retreat, regroup, and renew, I have a clear perspective on everything in my life. So, you know, I ask a lot of times for the Creator to teach all aspects of me how to practice non-attachment in the highest and best way, okay? And I know I'm a Scorpio. I have a lot of Scorpio. I have Pluto and by mutual reception in Scorpio. I have a lot of planets there, and so I tend to hold on. But we all have Pluto in our charts. And it's funny, it's usually the people with Pluto in the 12th house, the Pluto that they think that they aren't controlling at all, that are usually the most, to be honest with you. Well, and me. I'm right up there. I've got Pluto at the South Node. So, you know, really practicing like I'm in alignment with my divine timing, and I'm in alignment with the divine timing of the earth is something that's, he's saying, important to say. And it's an important reminder to give yourself at this time, is what he's saying right now. So every day I do that. Every day, okay? Because we have aspects of ourselves and that we are not conscious of, that aren't so hip on this whole, like, yeah, let's change things up. And it's resistance is what he's saying. And resistance always comes from fear. Fear of the unknown. fear and lack of trust in spirit, lack in trust of our soul, our own soul, and lack of trust that our higher self is always doing what's in our highest and best, okay? And that those decisions come from an energy of unconditional love. So when things do abruptly change or things are taken away, it's important to remember that this is in your divine timing, okay? That this is something that your soul wants for you, and your soul wants you to be happy and to experience the best of life, is what he's saying, and to be at peace with what happens in your life too. So I just saw my birds that are my sign go right over, so that was pretty awesome. Is that what I'm talking about? Yeah, and he said especially in relation to twin flame, and in relationship to relationships right now, is what he's saying. That this is how much of this is going to play out. And just to understand that the shocking revelations that come out are always for our benefit. And then he is asking me to talk about what happened with me. I basically, because of being raised in the fundamentalist Christian, I'm going to say the fundamentalist evangelical movement in the United States, even when I had, like, giant arrows, basically. I mean, my Christian psychologist was telling me, like, file for divorce. Do you think Jesus really wants this for you? And I wouldn't do it. And then finally my ex-husband, and I love my ex-husband. We're close friends, just about like siblings or cousins. We're good friends. We've been divorced for a very long time. We don't have any animosity between us. So, but when he had an affair, that was when I was like, oh, it's in the Bible that you can get divorced then if someone has an affair. So yeah, but that's what it took, and I thought about that a couple of days ago too. So that's why he's reminding me to tell you. So whatever does come up, just know that, and they understand. He's saying that these things are very painful and that you're allowed to express emotion, but that for your own sake, it's best not to wallow in the emotion and to stay there. And obviously he's showing me, like, everyone needs a period of grieving when a relationship comes to a close. But he's saying that a lot of us are fighting the relationship ending because we don't want to face the pain that comes with endings. And he's saying that we can shift our thinking to new beginnings instead of looking at it as a loss or something that ended. Just to appreciate it for what it was, be grateful for that relationship that you had, and for that soulmate that entered into the agreement of the contract with you to have that relationship and that experience with you, and that there's not any less love, is what he's saying, when a relationship ends. It doesn't mean that there wasn't a great love there, but that the soul wants us to experience more than one relationship, okay? And that it's possible to have more than one great love, is what he's saying. And I can testify to that for sure. So, sorry. Okay, so I was asking if there was anything else. So I'll have the video for that full moon. It will be up in a couple of days, hopefully on Thursday. I'll get that posted. And then I'm speaking this weekend in Quincy, Illinois. If you want to, we're going to do a solstice ceremony there. And I think I'm going to be channeling Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. But I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be, but haven't gotten the particulars on it yet. So anyway, if you're interested in that, you could call me. You could email me at jennyb@astrologyforascension.com. My website is astrologyforascension.com. I still have the sale going on my website, so check that out. I have a lot of different options for sessions. So anyway, everybody, I hope that you are doing well and that you're faring well through these energies of, it's been a lot of rocky stuff and what's coming for the collective. I talked about the storms and since I started doing videos, and before that when I was doing Blog Talk Radio without video, I was pointing out at pretty much every moon event there was the asteroid storm, the asteroid typhoon, and then the hypothetical planets, Poseidon, had a lot to do with them as well. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that, if that continues, or if now we're going to have a breather, because Neptune water in Pisces water, was at the midpoint of that Mars Uranus square. And so obviously there were going to be a lot of water events, but we've still got like a lot of energy of all of the elements, not the elementals, not the fairies, gnomes, and divas, the elements. We've got still a lot of fire, and now we've got more air in the sky, so that'll be good, because when there's not a lot of air in the sky, people can't really find their words. And with this Mars, really angry, it tends to just be like a instead of just talking about things. So now this should be better now that the Sun and Mercury will shift into Libra. So, in fact, the Libra might have, or Mercury may, no, I don't think he shifted yet. No, Mercury is going through Virgo very, very quickly, though. So, yeah, yesterday he had his sextile with Jupiter. I know I was talking to one of my friends this morning, and she said that she was cleaning like a fiend all day yesterday. I was like, well, you're on time. So, yeah, when Mercury's in Virgo, that's a good time to clean out the closets and get stuff organized, for sure. So anyway, okay, everybody, I hope you're having a great Monday, and I hope that the rest of the week is great for you as well. I will talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.